war's over. And we've lost.
Olympus has fallen. So we had a good run with Bungie, but I fear the end has come. And this is a video I never hoped I had to make, but here we are. So let's get into this. So my name's Beckett and welcome guys. So if you've seen any of my videos on Destiny or anything, you could already tell that I'm somewhat of a fanboy. I've loved Bungie. The worlds they've made for us in the past almost 20 years are amazing. And you know, if you've seen any of my videos, like I said, you'll notice that I praise them when they're doing well, things I love and mistakes they've made and stuff like this. And I've always tried to stay fairly critical on the F-ups, the screw-ups, everything that kind of like they destroyed, you know? So every world that they've ever created, I've fallen in love with. I think the first Bungie game that I actually played was Oni, and it was just some game I picked in a bargain bin before I was even like aware of Halo or any of the universe, you know? And I thought it was amazing. And then I stepped into Halo, the reason why I bought an Xbox and all this, and now we're in Destiny. I mean, I've spent probably the past 15 years on and off playing their games. I love them. I love everything about them. And Bungie always grasped me and kept me playing over and over and over again. They did things like where GTA and Rockstar did for the third-person open world formula. Bungie did the same for the first-person shooter. They would push boundaries, new concepts, which would send Bungie to new heights. But with new heights came huge responsibilities. And as hard as they tried, this could only spell disaster for the beloved developer. And I don't know if it was a lack of passion or pure arrogance that spelled this, but let's dig into that. Now, any Destiny 1 players knows the struggles of the state of the game, and what we got when the game launched was not what we expected. The promises and the hype just could not be contained, and this continues to be a problem for Bungie to this day. For some reason, they just can't figure out how to control the hype, how to slow anything down. Maybe it's a lack of transparency and just not telling us, oh, this is going to be in the game, this is not. Yeah, we just couldn't work out the kinks and stuff like that. We were hoping it would, but it wouldn't. I mean, I think this would clear a lot of the air and stuff, but Bungie has a real problem with transparency. But even at the time, we were willing to be patient and wait for improvements. We knew what Bungie was capable of and always knew they would deliver. Even though the game was shallow at launch, we knew there had to be more. Could this be it? It couldn't be. Could it? Soon we would find out through leaks. The product we got was a rush product. The excuse given was the story and gameplay was too linear, everything was scrapped, and Bungie edited and chopped up what they had with only 6 months before launch, and they pushed out whatever they had. Now we're going to go back to that 16 months later, but regardless of Bungie dropping the ball with vanilla Destiny, we didn't care. We loved what we had and awaited more. Although year one was a shattered mess, for me personally at least, the droughts and everything that we had to deal with, but what was delivered for the remainder of Destiny 1's life would only confirm Bungie's dedication to this new IP we call Destiny. With Destiny 2 on the horizon, we had such high hopes for the future. Maybe, personally, I expected too much, but I don't think it was too much to ask for that everything that the live team had done in the last 3 years would have been moved over to Destiny 2 and enhanced, and maybe some things would be cut that just the company didn't think worked out so well, but instead they neutered it. And maybe this just wasn't the same company. I think it was just a shadow of its former self. And it just got me thinking, like, why is this company driving me away from the game that I love so much? What drove you away from this disgraced developer? Was it the casual centered focus, the increasing more apparent cash grab with Eververse, or was it just a lack of meaningful endgame content? All of this I took in stride because at the end of the day, I love the world, and Crucible has always just been an awesome experience no matter the state of the game, but eventually something would break and no amount of Crucible would heal this wound. My ultimate breaking point did not come in just getting tired of playing the game. It came in a weird place, actually. It was actually in listening to a DTR podcast with Kotaku's, I believe, Jason Schreier is how you pronounce the name. If I butcher your name, I'm sorry, man. But he's done a lot of good articles, and everything he's really done has checked out, and he's covered a lot of Destiny. But basically, he details how Bungie had to reboot Destiny 2 16 months before it launched. And this story was actually broken, I believe, back in House of Wolves, but it kind of just went under. Maybe it's just like they didn't want anyone to know about it, or whatever it was. I don't know. But it's actually a great podcast, and I suggest everyone listen to it. I'll try to remember to post a link in the description, but now we're back to that infamous 16th month reboot. I told you we'd come back, and here we are. And at that moment, I realized why everything was so lacking, why everything in the game felt so empty. It wasn't because they were holding back the content for a future DLC. There was no content to wait for. At the same moment, I came to the conclusion, I have no plans waiting another 3 years for Bungie to get their crap together. You know, it's like being in a terrible relationship for 4 years and finally waking up from a haze and wondering, what am I doing here? There are just far too many amazing titles for me to sit around in Destiny for something to happen. Maybe if we're lucky, maybe if the developers care. It's just time I'm not willing to waste. Of course, this probably won't be the end of Bungie, nor will be the last time I play Destiny. I will play and cover when new content arrives, but until then, it's time for a break. And if you're kind of feeling the same way, burnt out, I would suggest take a break. And if you're not into a linear first person or just a first person, open world like The Witcher or anything like that, there are great games just like Destiny. I mean, The Division has come a long way and it is actually more fun and more meaningful to play than Destiny at the moment, which is a sad state of affair. Maybe it is the Destiny killer, but I think Bungie is truly the Destiny killer. But although Bungie is making an attempt of reversing the removal of features and adding new content, I fear for a majority of the people it's just too little, too late. Now, what was your exact breaking point? Are you done with Destiny, or are you still playing it? And always, let's have a positive discussion in the comments. And you guys have a great day. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, anything you guys can do. It helps my channel more than you know, guys. I'll see you next time.